welcome to Paranormal Talk. I hope everyone's having a good Christmas week or a good holiday week. I don't want to say Christmas because I know not all of y'all celebrate Christmas, but the majority of us do. But hell, for the rest of y'all who don't celebrate, y'all celebrate some lesser holiday. Feel good about yourself and your lesser holiday.
For the rest of y'all who don't celebrate, y'all celebrate some lesser holiday.
Yeah, who's talking back to me now? Yeah, I hate to hear my own self talk.
No, that's my fault. My fault. Sorry. Sorry. All right. Sorry, that was me. That was me.
Should blame it on the spirits.
Okay, I'll go with that.
But guys and girls, don't forget we are back on YouTube, United Public Radio. So get your ass over there, start listening again. I'm hating to see that. It's so weird because the United Public Radio went down 2.3 thousand views a day and 5,000 something hours a month or something. But the UFO Paranormal is about the same, but up. So I know where everybody's at. It's kind of weird. You need to go back to the other one now, and I don't know what we're gonna do. Oh, and BitTube does better than YouTube, people. So whoever's over there in BitTube, we only got 40 posts over there, but it's actually doing better than YouTube is.
You gotta talk about that, Joe. I told you.
Yes, I got to get with Laura Lee. We're going to sit her down. Laura Lee's going to take over the Rambler, the BitTube, and the YouTube.
Uploading.
And yeah, she's going to take it. Well, now we're going to show her uploading, keep track of the stats and stuff, so we know what's going on over there. Eventually, we'll get them with 2 other companies we do advertisement with and set them. I think Dino's getting ready to pick them up, so that'll be nice. And yeah, it'll generate some revenue for everybody who's working on them. But people, so in case y'all didn't know, I mean. Rambler and Parler were requested by my insurance adjuster of all people. So we're already on Rambler, so we'll be on Parler soon. I just haven't had a chance to go. But I gotta download an emulator from my computer because it only wants you to do it on the phone. Look, people, when you invent apps that only work on your phone, you're shorting yourself to 70% of computer users. I mean, how stupid are you? In case y'all didn't know that, number sales for computers. 77% of people in the world still buy desktops over cell phones or laptops. And in case you didn't know this, 97% of all advertisement goes over the radio airwaves. So as much as TV want to boast how good their advertisements, in reality, their advertisement is very expensive and does not always reach the same audience as radio. And definitely does not reach the worldwide radio audience of radio because poor NBC doesn't go anywhere these days from what I'm told. They can't even get in the Middle East, man. They should be ashamed of themselves. And whoever asked me that, yes, we're in the Middle East, we're in Asia. There's nowhere we're not. I can't tell you what there's only 3 shows in the network that go to every country on the planet, but the majority of the shows go well over 100, 150. Oh yeah, easy. And places you just wouldn't think would go Timbuktu. Yeah. Ho Chi Minh City. I'm like, who the hell? What gets me is when I see things like deep in China, some little city in China, you're like, nobody there can speak English. They probably was never even taught. What the hell are they listening to? Oh, the Americans sound stupid. Y'all listen. They sound stupid. I don't know what else the hell they're listening to. I'm sure, Jack, that, I think they said 60% of Chinese speak English. How good at English is yet to be seen, but they say 60% of the current population speaks English now. It's the trade language. It's the business language. It's also the air traffic control language. Even Chinese and Russian air traffic controllers have to speak English. Yes, it's the universal language. I know they would like to make Mandarin the universal language. I understand that, but at the moment, it's not. Now, I can't say 100 years from now, but right at the moment, it's not. But tonight's show is going to be an interesting one. I mean, I wanted to talk about people's favorites for a while. Because Michelle and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but what's your favorite demon? What's your favorite ghost? What's your favorite angel for that matter? Do you like the named angels, like the archangels? There's a bunch of archangels. When I ask people, if you ever heard of an archangel, they look at me like, no, Joe, there's no such thing. Really? Most people only know for, Gabriel, Michael. Sorry, I got burnt by the coffee when I grabbed it.
Gabriel, Raphael.
Yeah, Raphael. Just the 4 basics, like the Ninja Turtles. That's the 4 they know. I'm sorry. But I mean, basically, that's what most people know. And when you start getting into some of the other names of archangels, they're like, well, no, Joe, that's not real. Yes, it's real, people. And then, like, when we discussed this, by the way, this started a big argument at one of my job sites. So we were all talking just a couple of weeks ago on this show about, the devil, Satan, Beelzebub, and whatever his other name is. And we all agreed for the most part that it's three different entities. Oh no, my Christian friends lost their minds. It is all the same. Blanket, no good. I can't even use the language they use. These are good Christians. So, good Christians should use those type of words. You're not a good Christian when you're using the F word, man. I'm just saying. But they were adamant about that. He is the same demon, just in disguise under different names. So I was like, well, I said, I remember the story of Beelzebub. I didn't think he was Satan. And I remember Satan. It just sounds a little Debbie, I'm like, I'm thinking they're three different people. Oh, no. Oh, and Bruce tells me, he's a pastor, by the way. He goes, you must have been watching that TV show where they said they were three different people. I'm like, maybe, but that's not the reason I think they're three different people. I said, I was also raised Catholic, and I do remember in the epistles them talking about these were different entities. You notice I didn't use demons. I used entities because I'm not even sure if they are demons. And then I'm really confused by the morning star. Or Lucifer's cast out, okay? For what? Because he was beautiful? Well, that wasn't why he was cast out. God can make anything beautiful. He wanted to be God. Is that why he was cast out? Was he just pissed at Gabriel and Michael because they were getting more action in him? The reason I say that is Gabriel and Michael were regularly going down to Earth and Lucifer wasn't. Maybe he just got pissed. They got to go down and see the daughters of man. While poor Lucifer's up there watching. I don't know what he was watching, but apparently he wasn't having as much fun as the other two. I'm just speculation before anybody writes me any hateful emails. Look, you'd have to ask God about all of that. And frankly, I know this is going to get me in trouble. If we're the only intelligent place on the universe, there's 7.5 billion of us here. And I understand God's all seeing, all knowing, but do you really think it or she wants to listen to 4 billion whiny SOBs all the time? Because the other three don't whine. It's just the 4 billion y'all whine. And then wait, let's magnify this through a galaxy or through a universe that has hundreds of trillions of planets. Why in the hell? Do you really think he wants to listen to all that? I'm just not buying it. I'm thinking God is like, no, screw this. I'm not listening to this. You stupid angels go listen to this because I'm not listening to this. Maybe he's an absentee landlord. I don't know. But if you have to judge like everything else we judge in the world by actions, I haven't seen the angels or God do anything in the last 2,000 years that I can think of. Anybody else? Laura Lee, have you? Has God come and talked to you and said, Laura Lee, I want you to be like this?
No, he hasn't. I always say, I'm very clairaudient. I try and explain this to people. I don't hear voices. It's within my own voice, but I do get guidance, I believe. I trust that it's guides and higher entities, but I've also been contacted by something that claims to be extremely negative, demonic. Was he really? You know what? I don't know, because I always say I go with what I feel, what I pick up, and energetically. But with 100% certainty, can I say exactly what it was? No, I can't, because I think as human beings, we're never 100% absolutely always right correctly, especially when it's something you have to go on sensation and energy. Mind you, it's also a lost art in human beings, I believe. We have many things, many centuries ago that we've let go by the wayside because we've been told it's not possible, it can't happen, but I believe it can. Michelle's talked many times even about people, they get angry, they're able to move things, they're able to, we're told that's not possible. But I believe a lot of things are more possible than what we believe. So no, could God talk to you? Maybe some people.
And who are you?
Who am I?
Who the hell are you again?
I'm just one of the Canadian women of the Wife Beaters Club that
one of the
in with one of your hosts.
One of the and
a psychic medium, a spiritual teacher, and a healer, a nurse. I don't know, what else can I add? I'm nobody.
Find you.
But one person.
Now she's on tonight, ladies and gentlemen. She'll be on in a couple of hours from now.
And I'm going to have a great guest. We're going to be talking about this tonight. He does paranormal, UFOs. We talk about black books. He speaks the same language, melody as Michelle and I do, Amelia, Kathy, a whole bunch of us on this network. So it'll be interesting.
You see, she let Dell out the cage tonight, so it's okay.
I let him out. Even let him have a shower. Look how great he looks.
Oh Lordy. Yeah, he's been
Got a hat on to hide the evidence of what I always do to him, apparently.
That's okay. I heard y'all lock down Mike, and he's not even in Canada, man. It's like that's rough, man.
It's gonna get real rough because us
Yeah,
Canadians,
Joe,
there's
you're
3 of us on
dreaming,
tonight.
man. No
We
one
are
locks
locked
me down.
down like an
I get locked.
And the whole conversation with Satan, I'll tell you this, man. If people think God's talking to them, they're deluded, because God wouldn't have time to really focus on one little piddly, pinkly person. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it talk through direction, or they talk through other things, you know, or other beings. And there's messages for sure, right? I mean, people get messages all the time, whether they pay attention to them or not, you know. But like Satan, the whole thing doesn't even hold water, man, really. Like the whole thing. And if you read the Bible, they sent Satan down to earth, not hell. Ain't no hell. Nobody ever mentioned hell for hundreds of years, you know. And I mean, so if this is hell on earth, that's fine, whatever. I expect that, because I can look around and see it. I see the pain, I see the suffering, I see the ignorance. There's a lot of dumbass people. I just came from Walmart. Talk about hell. That's where that's like the center. You know, that's like the customer service area for hell. And just the ignorance, and it gets you. It gets you that people are just so for themselves, and it's such a selfish goddamn world, and it's so hard to just have people do the right freaking thing, no matter what it is. You know, if they don't exact their due, you can't do it for them. So we have these obstacles. We people have obstacles. If you want to lead a decent life, there's people out there, entities that don't want you to lead that decent life. I call that evil. And that flows through government. It flows through industry. I mean, man, it's, you know, you guys know, because you see it every day. It's hard to navigate. It really is. And especially like for the things that are designed to put on a facade that it's good for you, like Christmas, right? Ooh, Christmas, it's Christmas time. But that's when people suffer the most. People dread Christmas. And then they go in debt for the whole year because of Christmas. So tell me, why is it good? Anyone? That's my rant. That's my rant for Christmas. So there.
What? So I think you're right, Michael. The more that's
I'm like, that
coming
was
to
a
light, the more
question.
evil I'm actually seeing out there. People, like really evil people. What's that, Del?
Somebody's got some issues.
You know,
Must be all the steam and claim you got around your house there, Michael, that left because of you or something like that. Wasn't that it? Or you got rid of them? All those women?
Those guys leave. Those demons leave here crying.
That's what
They
you
take the
said.
bus.
I knew you
Right,
knew better.
They got on the bus out of town. Whatever, man. It's just, you know, I wish things were different. The French have a saying, "C'est dommage." I wish things were different. I really do, you know. And I think a lot of people out there do. But if we form our own world and our own universe, we should be able to fix things. No, I mean, but damn, look around, and look around, and look around. You know, and all these people have everyone under their thumb. You know, it's about power, and it's about money, power. You know, and whoever gets to the top, I guess, has the most, right? But what does that mean? It means nothing, and they make people strive for money. And you know what? It sucks, because it defines people by finances, not by the value of what they are. You know, and if you look at, like, you know, going to any urban area or any suburb, like especially suburbs, you got the cookie cutter houses, right? The McMansions, all cookie cutter, all the same. They all drive the same car. They all look the same. They all wear the same stuff, and they all try to outdo each other with something a little better. And these people are in competition because of money. You know, they define themselves by their possessions and what they have. They don't understand it. And then try to explain the spiritual world to people like that. They're not spiritual. Those people follow a very organized system of religion that expects money, payment. You pay me. F you, pay me. That's what they say on Sunday when you go to a Catholic church. F you, pay me. You know, and they pass that collection plate around, and everybody judges each other on what you put in there, and they're all looking at you. You know what I mean? God forbid you take something out of there. Maybe you're poor and you take something out of there. Oh, Catholic Church ain't down with that. So these are the people that control the world, but they don't control us. We control us. You know, our spiritualness controls us, and they can say whatever they want Whatever they want, man. They're going to call you every name in the book. The Bible talks about them. They're called false prophets, and it's riddled through there, right? But where's the justice? You know, all these angels, where are they? You know, like Joe said, what have they done for us in 2,000 years? Where are they?
Well, maybe
They're
you
not
need
at
to
Walmart.
ask, what are they? Right?
I think they took off. Or there's some nice island. That's where I would be if I was some fallen. If you read the Bible, all the people who built society were fallen angels. And then look at like even ancient aliens, right? They're connecting a lot of weird stuff. But these were so-called fallen angels, right? They're the ones who built society. They're the ones who basically put the foundation down for mankind. And then, man, what about Satan's daughter? No one ever talks about Satan's daughter. It's actually written. There's a lot of stuff people don't talk about, like Lilith, Adam's first wife, right? Yeah. And what they did to Lilith. Well, Lilith ultimately became because she left the Garden of Eden, right, on her own, because she wanted to be equal. That's a deep story, and that goes back thousands of years, man. That's a deep story,
right.
And I think
that's right.
People ignore that. They ignore it, but it's going same stuff going on today. No difference.
Again, maybe you need to ask what they are. It's like Joe said many times, even like let's say that they're not from this world. Let's say they are ET. Joe said 100 times they don't really care. They're not going to come down here and assist right now. That they've probably laid the seeds for the foundation, like you say, but from that point on, are they going to handhold the whole time? Maybe not. If you follow religion, then people see them all the time. I can tell you that when we do remote clearings, that there's some pretty amazing things that we see when you are in energy form. I can leave that right there. But, maybe it's just different for everyone as to what you see, how it's perceived.
We had a question that was sent to the Gray Zone from like 2 weeks ago. I seen it on YouTube today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good question for this panel. I was going to save it for you and I, but it's a good question for this panel. So what the question is with extraterrestrials visiting here, multiple races visiting here, could they actually bring attachments with themselves to us? Introducing a new form of demon or a new form of ghost or a new form of some energy to our planet simply because it attached themselves to them. And now I don't know, if aliens are that high up that nothing can attach to them. I don't know. It's a question that I guess it's going to be hard to answer because I really don't know. I mean, I can't say it wouldn't be possible. I mean, because anything
I'm going
is
to throw
possible.
this out there. I'll throw this out there. And I'm talking a lot tonight, but I'm going to throw this out there.
Spit out there.
I believe my own personal belief is that there's pockets of energy that flow through the universe, positive, negative. We're all made of energy. Everything's made of energy. Everything's got a frequency. Physics goes down to vibrating waves. So there's no reason not to believe it, right? But I think that we're in a very negative pocket of that energy right now. I think we've gone into that for quite a while ago, actually, and it's going to last decades, man. And within that, I think that things fester. Just like if you have a body and your body's riddled with cancer or something, your immune system's down, things fester, things can take control very easily, And I think that if we want to know the universe, we just have to look within ourselves or look at computers. If you want to know the future and how computers, the files and whatever, much like our brains, right? But when it comes to like negative forces, I mean, I've seen stuff called on what we call unborn energy, something that had never manifested into human form, and they drain you. They're out there, and they're out there to corrupt, and it's not even corruption, right? It destroys you. Maybe not even intentionally. Maybe sometimes it is. Yeah, sure. Other times, no. I mean, we had this guy David that would call these things to his home. I mean, he was a medium, great medium, but he didn't want to be. He said he didn't want to be. He'd call, it'd be 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God, I can't sleep, and these things are after me, whatever. The Ghost Hunter show went through there, and he was all like enamored with that. And that's him. He wants the attention. He wants that negative vibe, that heavy, low vibration is attractive to some people, and they call it in. And then when it gets too bad for them, it gets too terrible for them, they call someone like me or one of you guys and say, "Oh, can you help me? I can't sleep at night. This thing's attacking me." He had these little furry creatures with big teeth clawing at him through his bed. I said, "Get some pictures of it. I want pictures. Don't just tell me. Show me. I'm from Missouri, man. You got to show me." You know, there was like this woman in black going down the hallway, but see, now the landlord told people before they moved into this place that stuff was going on, that it was already haunted. It was a morgue back in the day. They had slaves. They did terrible things to people on that land, and this guy was attracted to that land. You know what? And I think that people get sucked into stuff too, right? It's like I don't know. It's weird, but I know that it's 2-family house. Whoever moves in next to him moves out within 6 months, and they become some raging alcoholic or drug addict. You know, I mean, people who work for Cornell University in their administration, these aren't run-of-the-mill people. These are people like, you know, administrative types that you wouldn't think would go down certain paths. But that house is so heavy, it sucks you in. But he's the one making it like that. He's taking something and putting it on steroids, right? And he's pulling in. He's got this elf, some thing named Elf, and don't say his name. I was talking to him on the phone. He was telling me about it. And all of a sudden, while he was talking, this voice was like, rah, 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 rah. I was like, oh my God, I don't need that in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know
I
what,
do these
Michael,
things for
you touched on something important here, is that, you know, it sounds like the attention even that he paid to it. We were talking about this before going on the air, and I had mentioned right in the beginning, because I didn't know, we really didn't know a lot about the paranormal besides what I'd seen, like when people pass away, you know, working in palliative care and stuff. And I got kind of pissed off, and you know, I talked to people that were a lot more knowledgeable and say the more attention that you pay to this, the more, as Michelle said, acknowledgement is you'll have to give me the quote. Empowerment.
Acknowledgement
Exactly.
is
It was
empowerment.
beautiful. And you know what? The more energy and attention you give to something and obsess about it and on and on and on, it grows. Everything on this planet is energy. Or like you said, this guy, it's sad. You know, he could be one of those really powerful people that have that effect with energy attracting, you know, and like you said, anybody that moved into him, moved next to him, moved out, became a raging alcoholic, whatever. Some people have like
all right, Laura, remember the
Laura,
picture I sent you of
Yep.
the spirit, the woman? That's that guy in his apartment in Ithaca, or a brand new building. They came to visit him for Christmas. It was the aunt, the grandmother, and the cat.
that was an incredible.
We got pictures of all of them, you know. And this is very sensitive. I mean, so anything around him, it just seems, you know, some people are like that. Some people are just like an amplifier. You know, they're mediums, right? I mean, but I don't know. He never. But again, the grandmother was heavy into it. They did Ouija board stuff when he was 4 and 5 years old in California. So this guy's whole life is that. But you know what it does, you don't pull in that negative energy, and get overwhelmed, and then I don't know, and then be stuck. He's stuck. You know what I mean?
Could be a message from spirit, and I know that sounds crazy, but I always say I look at our situation and what happened. I never look back in anger or hatred. I never wish this on a blade of grass, but in a way, I look at it now that it was that push that I needed, at least, to be able to be doing what I'm doing now, and the path I would never be doing what I'm doing now had we not gone through what we went through. Was it difficult? Was it awful? Yes, but maybe it's a push. Maybe sometimes spirit gets pretty loud when you're maybe not on the path that you're meant to. I've talked to many people that's happened to, that are now, you know, working in mediumship or, you know, sharing messages from spirit and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe he's one of those people. Maybe there's a message to be heard. I don't know. What do you think, Michelle?
Well, I think if you're going through something that makes you uncomfortable, you should be finding a way to change it. You shouldn't be looking for attention. And unfortunately, with all of this paranormal media that's out there, all these shows that are constantly looking for stories, it just feeds some of this stuff. They just don't. I mean, some people just want their shot at the brass ring, whether it's the researchers who are helping or supposed to be helping, or whether it's just the people looking. I mean, out of like the hundreds of people that I hope every year, there might be maybe a quarter of those people who ask to have their stories publicized. And I'm just like, well, whatever, if that's what you want to do. But some people look at it as a way of paying forward. Also, if somebody hears my story, maybe then they can get some help because, we got some help and it can be done. And then there's other people who just
did it. That's why we did
Yeah,
it,
for
was
sure.
to share our story for people.
Absolutely.
It wasn't for anything else except that if somebody else was going through something like that, because we're seeing more of this, unfortunately,
It's true.
activity. And you know what? If it was, and we live in Thunder Bay, there's 100,000 people here. Like if we were able to get through this, you can too. There's people out there that can help you, or there's enough information out there if you do the work and you do the research that you could potentially get rid of it yourself.
I've seen many people do it. And then there's like this guy, like Michael says, he's got one of the ghost shows in there and investigating, and he's looking for the attention. And there's a difference between trying to tell your story to help someone and just to basically keep it going.
Yeah.
Like there's more people that quietly just want the help and then there are the other way. But if the stories don't get out, then unfortunately there are a lot of people out there who they don't know how to get the help.
And people make a business out of it. Look at that Rolling Hills, which is upstate New York. That woman's like, I met her at a convention. She was really nasty to me and not nice to talk to at all. And whatever, you're gonna be like that. That's fine. You ain't gonna attract anybody, But then the rules she has. So she has an asylum, an old asylum, and apparently it's active, and other people, ghost hunter people, have been there on TV and all that. But it's like if you go in there, you got to pay her a ton of money, and I think it's like $600 to do the whole place by yourself, or you got to pay to be in with other people, like $50 or $75. And she has like these crazy rules, and if you get a picture of anything, she owns it. And then, for you to have a copy of it, you wouldn't be allowed to use it anywhere. Stuff like that, But she made a business out of it.
Unfortunately, you could put all the stipulations you want down. It doesn't work like that.
So she's like, well, you guys can come and investigate and do a show. And I'm like, well, we move people on. We don't go to a place and be like, hey, how you doing? We'll be back and see you later. We try to transition them because they're not supposed to be where they are. You know what I mean? And then she's like, don't you dare do that. They're happy where they are, whatever. And it's like she's using what's there.
I've met people like that. I met someone that's a really gifted medium, and she loved to do paranormal investigations, but she wanted to help cross people over. She got kicked out of the group for doing that, because what are you doing? This is our activity. This is why we come here. This is why this place is famous. And what are the reasons why you're actually in this field? Something needs help to cross over, and you've got somebody that's capable of doing that.
You see it way too often. Unfortunately, I have people who say, well, can you have a look and see what's here? I'll say, you don't want me having a look. So I'll be there for long, so that's the way it goes. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah, but you know what? I told her that we're going to go there and do it anyway. Like, we'll just go into the parking lot and cross people over. She got really mad at me. You know what I mean? That conversation went south at that point. But
you don't have to be in the building to do it. That's for sure.
Exactly.
You could do it remotely even. You could do it remotely.
Then there's bed and breakfast,
Yeah.
I mean, my friend's got a bed and breakfast that he rents out, He's got rooms or whatever, the Erie Mansion, but that place has been cleaned again. They won't go. I mean, the terrible things have happened.
The difference is if they move on and they want to come back in visitation, good for them. That's great. It doesn't mean that they're going to sit there with all that heavy energy, though. It's going to feel a lot more lighthearted, just as active. Like, You know, like the majority of the spirits that come in and out of here, the original family, they've all been moved on, and they come in here just because they love it, and they give just as much activity, if not more, than the grounded spirits.
But this guy's a serial killer who killed a ton of people there, and he won't go. He won't go. He won't go. So he can't.
It's not really.
Go. You really can't make him go. It's hard, right? I mean, almost impossible.
No, I've been, but you know, it can be done. It can be done. Remotely is a lot different. When you go in as energy and you work with energy, it's a lot easier than if you're trying from the physical side, you know. Right. But you know, it depends. There's some really gifted people out there. Maybe no one's just really nailed it yet. Maybe the guy is just going to take some extra oomph. So,
we should all meet. We should all meet up there. We should all meet up. There's like 5 or 6 suites. I mean, we could all get in there. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great place. I really enjoyed it.
No. I got to tell y'all about an experience I had just the other day. So I'm sitting down in the bayou, sitting on a stump. I see this little demon come up. I'm like, what the hell? Demon said, look, I'm not going to start no trouble. Now, listen, I said, no song. Hold on. So demon
down the bayou, all the stuff.
No, it ain't no bayou. So the demon comes up. He said, I'm not here for no trouble. I said, look, demon, what you doing on my land, you know, because he got to sit on this little boat thing because it's too much salt for him to get on the land. So he's like, okay. I said, what you got? He said, Lucifer sent me with a message. I'm like, what is that? He said, stay away from his ex-wife. She's crazy. She took him for everything he had. I said, she is some evil red-headed demon from Canada. I was like, oh, shit.
This sounds like a Charlie Daniels song.
Like, oh, shit, man.
I want my throne back. Just saying.
So I'm like, he's talking about Amelia, you know, like, oh, no. He said, you think I'm evil? You ain't got shit. She took everything, even closed down hell for 3 weeks. I was like, oh, shit. Beware, I'm just sitting.
So if Satan was a fallen angel and he's down on this planet boinking monkeys, he's definitely going to have kids. He's going to have some kind of lineage, right? I mean, that's what they say, that all these other ones, like that's where the giants came from. And, you know, that there's a whole bunch of stuff. And I believe in those giants because not far from here, in Waverly, New York, is Spanish Hill, and they found a bunch of those skeletons there. And it was they weren't like, it wasn't a hoax. It was like they were digging the road and they dug into the hill and they found all these skeletons, and that whole mound is a burial mound, you know. And they found these 14-foot tall skeletons, right? And then the Indians even had a name for it. They were a different type of Indian, you know, like these tall ones. So whatever, you know.
That's all over the world, though. They're finding them.
Yes.
Well, I mean, they had an archaeologist.
Documentary, Sardinia. I have my moderator for my group is from Sardinia. Even she didn't know a lot about it, so she lives there, and she said it only takes about 3-4 hours to walk from one side of the island to the other. But Dell and I watched that documentary. Do you remember that, Dell, about Sardinia? And the government would confiscate everything and hide it, pretend it didn't exist, but they found teeth, they found bones. I think, as I understand it,
why hide everything? Like, why hide everything?
But I was going to say, now it's off limits to the public.
The reason that they hide this stuff is because history has been so manipulated and hidden and stuff like that's there, right? So government and religious people, like, you got to figure what the Vatican has gone and squirreled away and hidden away from the rest of the public because they want to keep this power control structure, right? So if things are different, or things that are there that they're not expressing to the public that goes against what they're saying, of course they want to quell it and hide that sort of stuff. You find out that there was actually a real history that's a lot different than what you've been being told. People are going to start questioning a lot more things, and that's the whole reason why knowing history is so important. I think there's so much more that's been lost away there that people are starting to slowly find these things with the technology we're having now, where we can do deep scans into the earth, and we're finding these large giants or these burial structures, and something that's different technology or way things were done thousands of years ago that we can't explain, when they were saying people were just common gatherers working with branches and rocks, but they're cutting hard stone. Like, there's more questions are being arisen right now, and I think that's the people are starting to catch on that maybe the stuff that you're being told, but you're the history is not actually the true history of what's been actually going on.
I agree. You can't fight technology. It's not so easy to just bury it anymore.
Well, then, plus
In
also
the
too, is
cases,
that you got to understand too is that technology now, if you look at what's been happening in the last 10 years, is that they've been changing the history right in front of your eyes, changing old text. They've been changing lines in the Bible even too. The Vatican's actually even changed lines in the Lord's Prayer. Governments are changing things, and they're writing this in, and they're teaching the kids right now. They don't even remember stuff. Like, who could even, kids, they ask them and says, hey, do you know who Neil Young is? Well, that was some old, like, it's just people forgetting stuff like so quickly, because all they have to do is look at this little phone here and go on there and says, well, Wikipedia says this is the answer. Nobody's looking at what
you don't have to think about it anymore. Yeah. You don't have to retain
I tell people
anymore.
Neil Young is actually Stephen King. They believe it. They do look a lot alike. But in the case of Spanish Hill, they had the chief archaeologist for Pennsylvania come and inspect the bones, and he said that they're legit. He took the bones and shipped them down to the university in Philadelphia, and then they disappeared. They're gone. So, I mean, they were real enough to approve it and to ship them down. And then all of a sudden, then they say they have no record of receiving them. Nice, right? But but why? Why hide it? I mean, I get your explanation, Del. And you're a little low, man. You should get out of the cage. You need to, or put the microphone in the cage, man.
I know, man.
Yeah, he's not even there right now.
That's right. She put him back in the cage again, man. That's twice now she put him in a cage. People, if y'all watching tonight, it's these Canadian women harsh.
You guys
It's the holidays.
I'm a whole floor away from. I know I'm doing it distance, remote wise energy. See, there he is. He's not in the cage.
We feel for you, Del.
We're with you. We're with you, Del. We support you, Joe and I.
We know it's hard on you, man. We know. We got you. We know it's tough.
Guys got to stick together, man.
All right, look. People, if y'all gonna send me Facebook
I
requests,
have to go get my extra cup of water for today, my ration.
Rations, yeah. He doesn't get to eat or drink.
No, it's harsh in this world.
Well, then he doesn't pee or poo. That's smart.
Exactly, because he's banned from the bathroom. He gets to go in there once a day. He's already had that. He had a shower tonight. And I let him have his monthly shower. Right.
Okay. You must have like the Chinese factory employee manual. No pee, no poo. You work. That's it.
I'm not sure he's just not a ghost and she's got some makeup on him or something.
It's just a simulation.
I know. Just a simulation. Shit, I can't even.
It's all about perception.
It's a pretty nice cage. It's a pretty nice cage, and it is next to the tree, so that's nice too. And you can see right through it.
Decorated, everything matches. I'm in a new place, but that's what the Lord Master says goes. That's all there is to it.
I'm with it.
I wish.
Casey Marie wrote in from Kentucky and wanted to know if we should be scared of angels. She said they scared the shit out of her. Excuse my language, but that's exactly how
Hell's angels or like angels.
I think she just means angelic. She wrote angelic. She actually wrote angelic angels is what she wrote. Right?
If you say angels to me, I think of Hell's angels.
Yeah,
she said she just had a bad experience with an angel. How can you have a bad experience with an angel?
Is she sure it was an angel?
I know.
Go ahead,
or maybe you're a demon and you scared the angel or something.
Can she tell us what the experience was?
Yeah.
I know. So you can hear them talk. Well, I'm gonna leave this box open that way you can write in it. And I see you typing, but I'll wait. Go ahead. We got time. Mm-hmm. And I still don't know who my favorite. I guess I told y'all my favorite archangel is gonna be Michael because he smells like chocolate chip cookies.
No, but I found that with angels, usually if you really are dealing with something that's like an ascended master or, something like a fairy or, that type of energy, an elemental or angels, they may scare you, I guess, but that way if you see it, but that's not their intention and it leaves you with a good.
She said it had to be an archangel because it was sexed. That's her words. She said, I felt intimidated and scared that he was here for more than just a visit.
Might have been a mimic if she got that feeling. Realistically speaking, if you really research, like, older texts, angels and demons can both, if you go back to ancient texts, can both be good or bad. They can do good or they can do bad if they have to. So if she had a real sense of feeling of dread or fear, she may have just had a mimic, may not have been an angel at all.
That was my thought.
Demons mimic all the time.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Especially little children a lot of times, too.
Oh, yeah.
She said she's trying to remember it. She said it definitely identified herself as an archangel. She said he definitely wanted sex. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Sounds like could be a mimic.
And he's also told her that archangels have been having sex with women since women were invented, because they're much older than the human race.
Would say, or
sounds
something
like
that's
one of the Watchers. Yeah, that would have been like the first group down.
Well, sweetie, I got to defer to them because I don't know enough about it to really. What's this? Oh, okay, sorry. It was somebody accepting a friendship. Confused me for a minute. So it insisted it was an archangel. Well, I've heard about angels having sex with, and only archangels have sex. So I have heard of it before, but
it made you feel scared because you knew it was there for sex. But when it first appeared, or when you first felt it, did you feel fear and dread immediately? Like, I could understand depending on the conversation, but you know what? And again, I'm not always right, and Michelle is right historically, but dealing with these type of things, they like the reason why people say that angels have wings. I've heard of people that are clairvoyant that have seen an angel. They will appear with wings because that's what maybe that person's perception is of what they're supposed to look like. But they should never, in my experience and the research I've done, the people I've talked to, people I've worked with, ever make you feel that way. I don't care if it insisted it was an angel.
She said in the very, very beginning when it appeared, she said she had this overwhelming sense of warmth and light. She said, but then it reached out. She said, and I still remember when it brushed against me, I got this feeling of dread. She said, not like harm, like it was going to kill me, dread, but like it was definitely wanting to have its way. And it did not think that this was wrong. It thought this was its right. She said, I don't think it was a demon because it didn't act in that fashion. She said, it's just...
they can act very... They can appear to be very beautiful, very...
She said it just seemed to think that this was okay and this was acceptable amongst the archangels and the women of earth. Well,
you know what I always say to people is we're one human being. Okay. Yes, we had many lives and we come here, many of us, most of us, with spiritual amnesia, I call it. And it's almost like something wearing a Halloween mask, like a little kid, like this, a beautiful one pretending, giving you that feeling. These things have been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of millennia of time. Okay, we're one human being. If you think they haven't got enough experience to mask their energy, but like you said, once it brushed against you, it was almost like that mask was removed, that energetic, what it was projecting was removed, and you started to feel.
Energy doesn't lie.
Yeah, what their true self was. I don't care what it said to you, what it tried to project to you, but once it made contact with your aura,
when it originally came in, the energy felt. She said it was just when they were brushing. She said it's not that the other part went away; it still felt that part was still good. It's just inside the good. It seemed to be that he or it thought they could do this.
Once it brushed against you, though, and you felt that fear and you felt that dread, and I think Michelle coined it perfectly, energy doesn't lie. I don't care what it projected. Like I said, it said thousands of millennia to perfect, appearing before humans, trying this kind of thing. But once it made contact with you and what you felt, trust what you felt. I don't care if it was still holding up the mask, if it will, of warmth and light. What you felt with that fear and dread, that's what that truly was.
She said it identified itself as Ariel.
Yeah. See, I think we talked about this about a year ago. I think we brought this up, is that any type of entity or spirit that actually takes some sort of negative connotation to you or energy-wise. I think we were talking about succubuses before and that. And also negative spirits that can masquerade as being great or being holy or being good. Anything that gives you anything that draws or takes something away from you is negative. And that should nothing, and anything that is good is not going to take stuff away from you.
Plus, it was trying to talk you into it, basically, like by convincing you that this was all done for millennia with humans and this was okay. It's manipulating you.
Look at it this way: if you are religious and you're following religion, then you would have to think that it was probably one of the fallen ones. I mean, if you're following religion itself,
that's what
the
I'm
fallen
thinking.
ones were known to do that. Ariel's not a fallen one, though.
I didn't
Those are
think
the
so.
Watchers, right?
Yeah, I didn't think so. So maybe it just lied to you about its name. What do you mean, seraphims?
Seraphims. Yeah,
the seraphims are very powerful.
They are.
Yeah,
they don't come down.
Powerful. Yeah, I don't even know if they're allowed on Earth. Actually, to be honest with you, something about if a human sees them, you'll burst into or melt. I don't know. There's a lot of legends about humans can't.
They stay up apparently and guard the throne. Again, if you're going. If you're following
there's
the
9 realms. We looked at this. You weren't here that night, Michelle. I don't think you were able to make it, but we were talking about the demonic and how there was 9 levels of realms apparently of the demonic versus 9 realms of the angels. And when you look into that, you'll see the virtues, the seraphim. Oh God, I'm trying to go through all the list here. There's 9 different levels. And when you look at that, their energy signature, I mean, we project energy, right? We're in a 3D existence. And if you start looking at that, the different dimensions, they claim there's 12 or 13. I think there's many and much higher. Mm-hmm. So to be able to even there's no way you'd even be able to connect. And it just makes sense. Like attracts like. Our energetic signature, I don't care how high vibe you are, is never going to match something that high up if it guards the throne, said.
No, it does only what they do, only what their creator tells them to do. That's it.
Okay, that was very strange, people.
That was a good question, though. Thank you for sharing it.
No, it's a good question, and those kind of questions need to get asked because there's not many people out there going to answer them anyway. Look, I have no plan on dealing with no seraphims or any other type of angels for that matter. No. What do you mean? You mean the angel of death? No, I'm not going to deal with him. I'm going to live on another planet.
Azrael? Or are you talking about
I am going to live on another planet when my time comes. Oh, hell yeah. I'm being transferred to another place. I'm out of here.
One of the most interesting channeled messages from somebody from Archangel Azrael. And
he's a sweetie.
What's that, Michelle?
He's a sweetie.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yeah, and he's okay with being misunderstood. Working in palliative care, many people that I've worked with have actually seen him. He's been there to help them cross over with many family and loved ones, and he gets a bad rap all the time, and he's okay with it. He understands.
Michael's an archangel. He's down here stuck because he would behave last time he was here. So God said, Angry, you're stuck on the planet for 10,000 years. And
Michael Angry, yes.
Angry. Why do you think I call him that? Because God told him when he was archangel, you can't come back. You were bad. You can't stay out of trouble. So now you stuck.
You've never had my chocolate chip cookies, though, man. I make the best.
I told you guys I need your addresses. I'll send you some Canadian.
I love that show when all the women are following around because he smells like cookies. And it's like, yeah. I thought that would work, but that might work pretty good.
That'll have your wives control you too, or whoever your demons that are with you, Michael. Just joking. I don't make potions. I'm not a witch.
I do.
Not that you have to be a witch to make potions.
Matter of fact, if y'all want something special, tonight's the night to do it. We're at the equinox. We've got the star in the sky and the last meteor shower of the night coming through tonight. We've got the shortest day, thank God. Shortest day, conjunction of Saturn and Venus. I mean, Saturn and Jupiter. We've got the meteor shower, and it's the equinox. I mean, come on, guys. You can't ask for a more powerful day than this. Yeah, so what do y'all want? Who you want me to turn into a toad?
Capricorn to Aquarius as well.
I'm staying away from Satan's ex-wife over there. Hell with that.
Yes.
Look at her hair's flaming already and shit. I'm sorry, y'all go ahead, man. I apologize.
To its sizzling.
I know when I'm in deep shit. Go ahead, Del. Say something.
Been watching a lot of different shows and stuff like that, and different people with this night here being exactly what it is, the equinox, 21st, and you have this star or the 2 planets coming together that is supposed to look like a star, which goes back to many times with this great conjunction, and then with the switch over between Capricorn into Aquarius. So a lot of people have said during this time, and they all said that during this great conjunction, that this is a time when there's going to be usually some sort of cataclysm or some sort of political unrest. And so if you put this into perspective, this year of COVID-19 that's happened this year, and you have this election with political unrest going on, this almost sort of fits into this little scenario that we have coming up. Because it's
Trump said he was going to invade
now you
Canada.
got Trump, man. Trump doesn't want to leave, and he's trying to figure out every which way he can stay
He
in,
said he
man.
was going
This
to
guy's
invade
nuts.
Canada, man. That's what he said he was going to do. I don't know what he's going to invade them for, but hey, more power to him, unless we're going, that's what it is.
Well,
We're going to come
those
up, rape, and
Canadian
kill,
women
that's
aren't
what's
like
going on.
Melania, man. Canadian women have whooping sticks, man. Trump wouldn't be able to play his game.
Yeah,
They get him with a whooping
we're
stick.
gonna
man.
rape and pillage our way
Biting my
across
tongue.
the Northeast.
We are going
Northwest.
into major lockdown now. Apparently,
Ontario's
back to
locked down as of Boxing
Yeah, I
Day
saw
for
what's going
28
on, man.
days.
It's getting like really
28
locked down,
days.
eh?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Well, Toronto's already locked down. It
They're
has
trying
been
to
now for
save the
about a
men.
month, but we're getting the whole province, which would be like a state for you guys, is being locked down as of the 26th for 28 days.
And it was Christmas Eve, and then an hour later, he changed it to Boxing Day, and it's
He
not
would have
going to
been
be.
lynched if he would have
Oh,
tried
I think he's still going to get lynched.
He's gonna get lynched. Yeah.
So
What are
believe me,
the
something's
rules
gotta
though?
kick him. Something's
What are the
gotta give.
rules? The rules are going to be exactly what happened in March time there. That we're shutting down mostly all business except for essential services. Actually, I'm going to be talking about this on my show there coming up later on. But you're not allowed to. We used to have the bubble of friends. Well, that's not going to be in existence now. Basically, at your home quarantined, only to leave for basically emergency food items and stuff like that.
There'll be lineups, there'll be shortages, be everything like there was.
It's basically it's the same thing again, and that your schools are shut down. They're extending school shutdowns for a while, but
Till the 11th.
Goes down anyways over Christmas time. And I think what ended up happening here with our Premier Ford is that he had it there Christmas Eve at midnight. He was shutting everything down. But the thing is that the backlash would have been for people not being able to visit family members on Christmas Day, and then also with the Boxing Day stuff going on there, businesses still need to make money. So he cowtailed and says, we're going to shut it down Boxing Day midnight, right, to allow some sort of thing there. Because I think it would be
well, it's 12:01 a.m. Boxing Day on the 26th. So when people wake up on Boxing Day, they will be in full quarantine.
What the hell is a Boxing Day?
Hey, there you go. So we're
How
screwed.
come we don't have a
12:01.
Boxing Day? What the hell is a Boxing Day? I'm going to put
The same thing
That's
you
where
guys
they all
have, like a
box each
Black
other, man.
Friday. It's like Black
guys
Friday.
have
That's where they all go
know.
boxing. Joe,
Yeah.
Joe, they go into the streets and they box each other. It's like a purge.
We need one of them
except
kind of
with
days.
boxing
Yeah,
gloves.
we need one of them kind of days. There's no
It's kind of
boxing
like
ears,
24
buddy.
hours. We
I'm
don't
ready
have
for
any
Boxing Day.
I am too. I'm all for that.
I have a
Like
list. I have a list of people for my Boxing Day. Really, what's the history of
American
Boxing Day?
Boxing Day, man. You run out and punch me in the head.
It's like
What's the
Black
history of
Friday.
Boxing Day? I gotta hear it.
It's from the UK, actually, but since we were under the Queen for how long? It's kind of a UK tradition. I can't remember why. Michelle's such a great historian. She might remember. I don't remember why.
That? Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I've never been one that's really partaken pretty much, Usually somebody needs a ride to the mall and you have to, drive around for a million hours for a parking spot. I just
don't
drive
even
around,
go
dump them
near.
off and take off.
Like there's wall to wall people in the malls.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like
Oh, I
Black
can't.
Friday. So that will
I
be
can't.
curtailed. So
That's
I
good,
want
yeah.
to just say
You just
in
don't need to
YouTube
spend no
we've
money
got somebody
anyway.
by the name of Angry Azrael Lena. She says Azrael's
I like
my
that
angel.
name. I like that's a good name.
The chat.
Azrael is awesome.
Yes, he is.
All right,
It's a
this is it. It's so upsetting you guys don't know what Boxing Day is. Boxing Day is a holiday celebrated the day after Christmas Day,
That's
Well,
right.
we know
being the second
it is.
We know
day
They know what it is. They
of
can know it.
Christmastide,
Yes.
though it is originated as a holiday to give gifts to the poor. Today, Boxing Day is primarily known as a shopping holiday.
There
I
you
like
go.
the whole giving gifts to the
Shame on
poor.
you.
There you
Like,
go.
you don't
Y'all
want
should be
Christmas.
giving presents out. That's fine. I'm selling.
It's
Yeah, give
wall
something to the poor, man. That's
to
nice.
wall
Yeah,
people. I
you're
don't go
looking at the
anywhere
poor
near it.
people who spent all their money at Christmas, and now they have to give them a deal to get some
Yeah.
of their money back.
Right.
There you
A
go.
lot of smart people wait, either
Poor
give money
people.
at Christmas or say, go out, here's
You
some money on
guys are
Boxing Day,
so
get whatever you
funny.
want.
These guys are so funny.
It's a sham.
Tell them.
It's a
Hey,
sham.
wait,
It's just for
wait,
money,
wait,
right?
wait, hush. I hear a voice from the outland. Hello, is
You
that
guys
Ben?
are
Ben?
hilarious. It's Benito Child from
Okay.
UPRNs Radio Broadcast King. How you doing, everybody?
Somebody on CB radio?
That's Ben.
Nice
Speak up,
nice
Ben.
to
You're
meet
really
Oh.
low.
You guys are hilarious. You're talking about Boxing Day. That's the day after Christmas. You know, I gotta tell you, in the neighborhood that I'm from, because the day after Christmas is National. The day after Christmas is National Side Chick Day. That's when you go give your side chick her Christmas present. So that's the reason why it's Boxing Day. The day after Christmas.
Okay.
I thought you guys knew
Sausage
that.
Day. I was all for that.
So
Michelle got me
Boxing
on
Day,
that guy who
that's up.
steals the sausages. So.
Hey, Ben, how have you been, man? Haven't heard from you in a long time. Glad you're here.
Oh man, it's been crazy.
Wow,
The
remember
sausage
Carlos left
swiper.
I mean, just like everybody on the air, I've had my fair share of disappointment and tragedy this year. Went to the Grammys with all kinds of high hopes and got back here, and of course, January, all hell broke loose. So all the dreams that we had, of course, are on hold. Nobody had concerts. So our show has been in reruns, but I am happy to say that we did create a podcast, and we'll be coming with the first installment of that shortly. I think it's going to be Paula Atherton, who's the number one, and she is a nice lady that plays saxophone, number one on Billboard in smooth jazz for quite some time. We're going to be having her on our first podcast. But anyway, on to what you guys were talking about. I just had to break in because you had me on the floor rolling with this Boxing Day thing. No, man, that's
crazy.
not
Because Americans are deranged, man. We can't help ourselves. My mom has dropped us on our heads too many times as babies or something. I don't know what the hell it is, but or maybe it's Trump syndrome. I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's something.
I don't know. In America, we got 420. You know what I mean? It happens twice a day and once a year. So that's better than your Boxing Day. I'll take 420.
I wouldn't know what that stuff is.
Well, I mean, being from California, we don't necessarily promote the three martini lunch, but we do advocate the 2 blunt coffee break. Yes, we do.
Oh yeah. Puff puff give.
People, if you don't live in a state where this is legal, we do not condone this. I'm just saying ahead of time. If you're not in a state where it's either medical or illegal, we're not condoning this. That's like half the states in the union. This is a no thing, people. They still put you in jail. See, in the state I live in Mississippi, they put you in jail for 2 joints. Yeah, don't come down here.
Republican states will lock you up, man. They will lock you up for weed. For some weed, man.
Too. So another thing for everybody out there, this is a special note for all, especially the youngsters. Well, you know what? Just for everybody, from the baby boomers to the Z-Gens, because y'all all dumbasses. So if you're in Colorado or California or Arizona, anywhere marijuana is legal, and you're in a national park like Yellowstone, and you're smoking a fatty and a game warrant comes up, guess what? You're going to jail because it's still a Schedule 1C3 drug, and you're going to jail. Because you can't smoke on federal land because it's still illegal. You can get 2 to 5 years if you're caught smoking on federal land. So just know that going in. It's a fed jail. It means you got to serve 80% of your sentence. You don't get out like at half your sentence or even a third of it like you do. So just don't smoke on federal land, people. Is all I can tell y'all. I've had 2 friends
Joe
in Colorado get 2 years.
Joe Biden's legalized it. That's the whole thing.
You got to get Congress to go for that. And Congress is like, screw you. Congress could have legalized marijuana for 10 years since Obama, and they just won't do it. They just won't. I don't know if it's not even the old timers. They're not the baby boomers. Ain't even holding up. It's the young ones. They like we don't
term limits. Yeah, right.
The only person that's really
AOC's anti-pot.
The only person that's
and
really
I'm thinking
exempt
that
here in Canada is the Prime Minister's mother. And then she can smoke right around the RCMP officers.
I don't know. I was in Colorado. They said it created
smoke,
tens
too.
of
That's
thousands
bad,
of jobs. It created jobs. It's building schools. They're building roads, all for tax money from marijuana. You know, you can walk into a place and buy. You can buy it in Walmart or Target, man.
Yeah,
you go to the pharmacy, they have it right there. You know, so that's civilized. You know, like locking people up for weed is
when
not
all
civilized.
50 states have it? Canada's going to have it legal, and Mexico is. Weed's
We're
going to become
legal.
dirt cheap.
People
it's
are gonna
be like
smoke.
$5 a
People
bag.
are gonna smoke.
But nobody's going to make any money off of that. It's going to be. Colorado's already
People are
talking
gonna
about
be.
this. They're panicking over this.
People can be kinder, gentler, maybe, man. You know, they got marijuana infused juice and stuff, and gummy bears and chocolate. People are gonna be downright chill.
Going around getting high all the time. I mean, we literally got countries that would just love to invade.
Hey, I know some people that should get high all the time, man.
I hate to argue that point, because I do know a few that would probably be better off. And potheads are
They're
better
angry.
than alcoholics, but still.
There you go. That's for damn sure.
They're easier to deal with, is what I should say.
I knew it was going to come up. I've never seen a mean pothead. And I've never
exactly.
trials where we ran out of weed, so that's the reason we robbed the bank. Oh, and not that old lady over and took her stuff. I was out of weed, man. You know, it was just eating at me. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
Never happened.
But anyway, moving on to a real subject instead of this one, because we'll have to save this one for next week when we're doing the other show. Because, man, what we do is this week's paranormal, next week's politics. Every 2 weeks it flip flops.
That's the reason why you guys were talking about the seraphim and so on. I was blown away by.
We on one Monday it's politics, one Monday it's paranormal, and that way it's easier for the audience to keep up with it. So we were doing it on Friday, but Friday's too hard to get everybody together. Monday's actually an easier day to do it. Grindle, I love that name, Grindle. So you think you like the evil thing? So what you got for us, Grindle? What do you mean? The archangels are the ones that were cast down? I don't think so. Well, maybe some of them were, but I know there's still some archangels out there that ain't cast down. So what you're trying to tell me is there had to be at least 12, because the archangels are based off of the gods of the Romans and the Greeks.
Allegedly 72, I believe, were cast out. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 72 angels would be like, 700,000 humans. Yeah. Well, first off, immortal might not be the right word. I don't think the immortal in the way you think of immortal, like forever lasts and can't die. I do hate to say, I do think archangels can die. Yeah, I think they can. I don't know who can kill them. I don't think any of us can kill them, but I do think they can die. Mainly because it looks like most things in the universe is designed to die at some point or another. Yeah, even things that live a billion years seem to die sooner or later. Even black holes die, so in suns and stuff. So I would think everything in the universe is designed to die at some point. Well, the old rumors were that when God originally created everything, everybody had much longer lifespans. But we were so slow to change and evolve that they had to shorten our lifespan so we could evolve at a much faster rate. Because if humans right now live to be 1,000 years old, we would evolve at a much slower pace than we do now. It's the fact that we're dying that drives us so hard to evolve, to get off the planet, 5 ways to live longer. These drive us. It's a driving factor in who and what we are. Without that factor, things would definitely evolve at a slower pace. Science don't argue that, neither does psychology for that matter. But it also would allow you, think of it this way, if you live to be 1,000 or 5,000 years old, think how long an internship would last. So you're an intern somewhere, instead of being 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, it might last 40 years. That might be an internship.
So I got a question for your panel. Based on what you just said, if we correlate that to the books of Ezekiel and Enoch and so on and so forth, where they talked about, extraterrestrial travel and so on and so forth, and we decide that we're not debating whether or not those pictures on those rocks and those artifacts that are carved that look like they're astronauts from outer space, if that stuff is true, based on what you just said, well, then how long did that period of time really take if all the technology that we have is not really new and we're just being reintroduced to what we already did once already as a civilization? And we're finding out that the last time we had this much technology, we surely blew it.
Well, think of it this
Think
think of it this
first
way,
time
Ben.
to figure out we blew it.
And we've discovered more in the last 10 years than we did in the last 2 million. So that shows you how much evolution drives us. So for 2 million years, we were walking around with our thumbs up our asses, wondering what was going on. And then somebody somewhere hit a strand and started pushing showing the humans, say, hey, look, if you invent this and this and this, your life gets longer, you get healthier, you live longer. So we went from running around naked in the woods, wherever we were, Africa, South America, wherever you want to believe we came from, to now we're driving around in cars, and we're getting ready to have hover cars here soon. I can't actually believe we're going to actually, I always said for 2000 we'd have hover cars. It looks like they're going to actually fix that. So that's kind of cool. But
my point is that the hover car is not new, and neither is space travel. If you talk to anybody in the Darwin tribe, okay, who points to the place called Sirius, prior to science being able to have a telescope that saw that far, and they said, that's where we're from. The anthropologists went and found them, like they were lost. Okay. Now, that said, how long does it take those guys to get home, or were they ever intended to go home, since they know they're not from here?
Well, that all depends on what kind of technology they have. Faster than light, less than light. Let's see, Dog Star is what? It's a good ways out there. So 55 light years or something.
The high priest of the tribe do what we call a boomerang. And he said, that's what you call it. We call it a takara. And he said everything you need to know about how to get home is buried inside of this thing.
Yeah. Oh, it's only 8.6 light years away. I thought it was further. I know. That shit that ain't nothing. So at light speed, at half a light speed, that's a 16-year trip. At light speed, it's an 8-year trip. But of course, 2 times light speed, it's 4. 3 times, it's 2. At 4, it's 1. At 8, it's less than 2 months. At 10 times the speed of light, you could get from Earth to there in about 35 minutes. So it really just depends on how fast your craft are. In order to explore our galaxy, just our galaxy, nowhere else, you're going to need ships that can do at least 10 times the speed of light, more than likely like 50 times the speed of light to get around.
I got to tell you, see, I am not adept at any of the subjects of conversation that you guys are having, but I'm fascinated. It brings to mind certain things that I've been told and things that I've read that I've always been curious about. This priest who threw the boomerang, as I call it, said that everybody else talks about the speed of light. What about the speed of thought, which is faster than anything? That means you're wherever you think you are because you think you're there.
I would imagine thought, like anything else, is a form of energy or a wave of some sort. And if it's a wave, it probably has. See, right now, as far as we know, all waves travel at the speed of light, as far as we know. Okay. And I mean that sincerely, because there are certain particles we think that might actually exceed the speed of light. But right now, as far as we know, all waveforms, which also would be thought, travel at the speed of light. Now, if somebody always says, well, people around the planet can think to each other instantly. Well, of course they can. At the speed of light, anywhere on this planet is accessible in milliseconds. So that's not a big deal. Now, talking to someone, of course, in Sirius, even at the speed of light, that thought would take 8 years to get there and 8 years to get back. So it's a 16-year round trip, say 17-year round trip for one thought. Well, by the time I got back, you then forgot what the hell you said in the first damn place. So obviously they've got some other means of amplifying thought. In fact, because if you go by the Greys, they seem to be able to think across time and space effortlessly. And some people think it's because they're not actually thinking across space, they're thinking through space. Either through some type of gate technology, dimensional portals or something, but more of like a folding of space than an actual crossing of space. Because when you fold 2 spots, they meet together, so it cuts the distance down by half, actually more than half. So in some places, it would make it almost instantaneous. But I don't know. And they do seem, but when you hear people describe them, they do talk about what it seems like a doorway opening and closing when you see a ship move. Because no one ever talks about ships streaking across the sky. They talk about ships because that's something our planes would do. Our planes would streak across the sky. Theirs move so fast, even if they were going in a straight line, you'd never see them. When they'd take off, they'd be gone. When you talk about speeds in excess of 100 times the speed of light, you're not even going to see them. I mean, it's going to look like they're popping in and out. And they may be. I mean, we do have portals. We've got at least 4 portals on videos now. Where they go, what they for. I still remember the one we got in Gulf Breeze, Florida. not only was our government interested in it, the Canadian government was interested in it, the Chinese government interested, and so was the Russian government. They were all interested in it because it's a beautiful portal. I mean, we're driving down a highway and we just seen two of these on TV, and we didn't think nothing about it. And Linda goes, "What is that? One of them things we see?" I'm like, "No, it's some." I figured it's some, because there's NASA and military. It's the South. There's all kind of military and NASA down here, so you never know what the hell you're seeing. And nope, I got the video camera out, and sure enough, it was beautiful. It was this strangish bluish color that started out from a small spire and worked its way. It actually looked more like a beam of some kind that was radiating out from the ground. Like when you drop a pebble in a rock, it starts out with small and it just keeps growing as it goes out. This kind of gave me the same sense. I tell you what, I got all kind of phone calls. People asked if they get an original copy of the tape, and I said, "Well, it's online. Anybody can access it." I said, "I don't mind if y'all use it." And then we got was it Kurt Russell from the Air Force called and wanted to know if there was anything else had been seen in the area, which there wasn't. I mean, you can see in the video, there's this beautiful sky in this thing. I mean, it's very clear. It's a very sharp video. It's taken from a moving car, but still, it's a clear video. And then we did still shot pictures. And what's great about this is later that day, I got 3 tornadoes running behind each other and doing a storm. Because that's the thing about this, ladies and gentlemen. We weren't out actually looking for ET that day. We were storm chasing. We work like the oil rig convergence. We do storm chasing, and we do a lot of ET and paranormal stuff. So we just happened to have been out this time storm chasing when we ran across it. And I even wondered if it was some kind of weird effect of the weather. But I've seen them in Netherlands. In the Netherlands, I've seen him in Norway, Sweden. We've seen him in 2 places in the UK and 1 place in Ukraine. Nobody knows what the hell they are. Some people think it's some kind of new launching device that launches things in space. Maybe it is. Some people think it's some kind of communication or laser. Maybe it is. I don't know. I can say this. I didn't feel any imminent harm, like I was in any danger or anything. It was about a decade ago, so it hasn't killed me or anything. I'm not sure what the hell it was. But it definitely was high energy. Definitely was easy to see. And it was funny because when I put our header out the car to put the camera sideways to get the video, and there was the cars behind us started slowing down to try to get videos themselves because I guess they seen us looking at it. To this day, I couldn't tell you what it was though. I wish I could because I could probably retire on knowing. And what's weird about this is there was 2 more sightings after that, and since then nobody has seen these things again. They're not popping up anywhere. It's kind of like that stupid monolith, boom, 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 and then nothing. There are 8, 10 places, and then they're gone. There's nothing. Nobody's even talking about it. You can't even find them on the news anymore. It's just as fast as they came, as fast as it was gone. It seems to be a lot of things today. I think that's why so many criminals get away with shit and so much other stuff gets away because the American public especially are so inundated with crap. After a day or 2, they forget whatever it was from 2 days ago. Unless it personally affects them, they just move on to something else.
Well, I mean, you got to think of it. I'm here in Phoenix. Okay, I'm a California native, but I'm in Phoenix. Now, I was on Indian School in 19th Avenue, and I saw this sky vessel. It was round, it looked like a tube, it had different colors of flames coming out the back. I wasn't by myself. My very first thought was something from
who I'm pointing at
that they're testing. got out of range, and now it's in Phoenix metropolitan area, in the area you see it. Or, gee, the weed here really sucks. Now, and you're right, Joe Montalvo, because this thing was in the newspaper, and there was all this supposition and all this controversy about what it might be. Nobody's copying anything other than it was there. And of course, 2 days after it was in a newspaper, you got to go back to work. You got to go back to your regular life. We're not talking about it anymore. It's kind of like we hope nobody brings up the subject because we've seen it, but we don't want to talk about it because we don't have any answers. Interesting human behavior.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, wait, hold on. I got a bunch of questions just lit up on the screen here, right? So I started typing. Wait, what? Who were you possessed by? Wait, what? Wait, hold on, I gotta get this right. Okay, so Esther Ingalls, I think is her name, she's writing in from Freeport. Well, hell up there. I know it's cold up there right now. I don't know if it's snowing, but it probably is. What do you got for us? I was possessed by a demon. It was horrible. The smell was horrible. The sound was horrible. It was like someone was always screaming in my head. My boyfriend said I always smelled like I had been sitting in dog, you know what, all day long. I was constantly hearing voices, and from time to time, friends and family said I would just break out speaking in these these weird sounds, and I would make these weird symbols. The demon's name was Ronovu. Am I saying it wrong? Ronove. Who the hell? Okay, I don't even know who the hell that is. Anybody know what demon this is? So how did you?
Yeah,
Oh,
not
you
heard
went
of
to a
that
Catholic
one.
preacher. Oh my God! So you went to church, and the priest came to you. She said that she went into prayer to church, and she smelled so bad that the priest came to see her and was going to ask her to leave because it smelled. When he realized she was probably possessed, and asked if he could help her. And then the church actually physically took her in, she says.
Ronove is said to be the great Earl of Hell, commanding 20 legions of demons.
Holy crap, what are you messing with a demon like that for? Well, you had to have been doing something. Demons like that just don't come up and find you for no reason.
Not usually.
You had to have been opening something, getting in, doing what? Pet sacrifice. Well, that's probably why right there.
Well, here it is right here. It says he also is described as a taker of old souls, often coming to earth to harvest souls of decrepit humans and animals near death. Well, yeah, you get what you ask for. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't even feel sorry for you if you have
In
sacrificing
invocation,
pets.
you ask for it, it will come. These guys are a dime a dozen just waiting for an invitation. And it
I
makes
hope
it a lot
people
harder to
take-
get rid of.
I hope you don't live in America because it's illegal to kill your pet in America. Oh yeah, they put you in jail for that stuff here.
Yeah, people are sick-minded.
So Yahweh, so she said they took animals that were abandoned or lost on this road and sacrificed them.
Doesn't make it right. How'd it work out? How'd it work out for
For
you?
what?
That's what she's saying. She said after after the church took her in and she went through this, she realized what she was doing was wrong and confessed to sacrificing more than 50 people's pets.
She should
I don't
be
even know
in
what to
jail.
say to you, girl. I'm, I don't know if you tell me the truth, you lie. I don't even know what to say to you. Sacrificing
I
those
wouldn't
pets
have.
is just
I
shitty.
wouldn't have removed the attachment. I wouldn't have removed it at all. And I
Yeah,
remove them all the time.
that
There are people
yeah,
out
you
there
lucky.
who beg for help, who don't go looking for this stuff, who spend their whole freaking lifetime just picking this crap up. And then you got those who just go looking for it and then scream for help.
She says she agrees. She hasn't been in it since she's got out of church. She's become a firm believer in God and is a firm Christian now who works with the church to help others who have been led down this race. She said, I don't want to make excuses for myself. She said, I got into this because of drugs and alcohol and sex. She said, but I'm not blaming.
whatever.
She said, I had my eyes full
Well,
open.
I'm not blaming it.
And,
People
and
so
then
full of
I don't
shit.
know, chick. I mean, I did dark magic when I was young, but I mean, sacrifice people's pets is just, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, if you got something out of it, but it don't sound like you got anything good out of it. It sounded like all you got was just horror. I'm not saying some people
deserves
can
to
do horrible
suffer.
things and get good out of it.
She
but,
deserves to suffer, man. There ain't no going back. There ain't no undo button. You engage in that type of stuff, you make that choice, and then choices are made. It's done. She
Well,
deserves to suffer.
I appreciate you writing in and sharing the story. I mean, hopefully it'll be a lesson for other people. People, don't sacrifice anything. Killing anything is bad. And before y'all write to me, yes, I used to hunt all the time, but hunting is different than sacrificing because I'm going to eat it afterwards. I'm not even going to make a trophy out of it. I'm going to make a dinner out of it. It's a little bit different. But still.
Like I will share with you guys, I was listening, sorry, I was off camera. What contacted me identified itself as demonic. It I'd never heard this name. I've been raised Roman Catholic, and again working with our archangelic realm, and if you believe in the fallen angels, I didn't sacrifice anything. We weren't doing evil things. I have no idea why this showed up, except that maybe it was impetus to get me what I'm doing now. I don't know. But this thing was powerful. I found the name. about 10 years later when I was looking something up for somebody else. And I never repeat the name. It's not because of fear. I just refuse to give it that acknowledgement or energy. But I have to agree, and I'm not here to judge you. I give you a lot of props for the fact that you shared your story. That took a lot of courage. And I hope that other people can learn from that, because you're absolutely right. I think it was Michael that said there are people like ourselves. We didn't ask for this. We weren't dabbling in things we shouldn't have been. We were minding our own business, living life the way we thought most people like to live. And no drugs, no alcohol, no animal sacrifice, no Ouija boards, no nothing like that. And it can ruin your life. So
Hey, maybe we'll do a Ouija set.
I've helped thousands of people, seriously, you know, and maybe the littlest, teeniest bit are the ones that go looking for it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's through lifestyle, sometimes it's just through curiosity. But man, oh man, when I've seen families get torn apart, I've seen children getting thrown out of their beds, I've seen horrific things.
We've had people
to go
thrown across the kitchen. He didn't even tell me at first, because he's still very analytical and tries to debunk everything. He actually, right, Dahlia, well, you thought that the fridge had shocked you when this had happened. We have quite the story. And again, I always say it's not my job to judge. I send you lots of love. I send you lots of healing. And I thank you for sharing your story, because folks, it's real.
Laura Lee's nice. I'll judge y'all's asses. Don't even mess with me, people. I can be a mean SOB when I want to be.
It's okay to mess with it. I'm not saying at all. I'm hoping that that's a cautionary tale for people listening that see stuff on TV, believe it's real, or horror movies or whatever. Yes, the dark stuff is real. But messing with these kind of things and opening doorways that we know nothing about. And again, I'm a major animal lover, and it was really hard for me to say to you what I did. But again, it's not my job to judge. But again, thank you for sharing your story.
I'm just telling y'all now, y'all sacrifice my chihuahua, I'm going to sacrifice your ass. Just know it.
Yeah, that was my
bring
kid,
you out.
my
I will
dog.
bring you out in the swamp somewhere, and we'll do some really nasty dark.
We'll
I
see
might
the
turn you.
mother
Oh yeah,
of all
man! If someone did that,
pretty
I would hunt
calm.
them down.
I would not be a pleasant.
And they're gonna sit there. I didn't mean it, and I repented, or I went to church. I don't care. I'm gonna take your head off at the neck, and that's gonna be all, because you don't have to worry about stepping over the line.
I'm going to
People are habitual line steppers sometimes, man. They deserve nothing but the sword.
Oh, no, they do. What's his name? Damn, I can't remember his name now. Damn it. What's the Highlanders guy name?
That's not being a sign of weakness, because if he came after one of my animals or my kids, you're going to see the mother of all grizzly bears. And believe me, you don't want to see that.
Leave the damn animals alone. They got enough shit they got to put up with without having to mess with y'all people. It's animals are defensive for the most part.
And trusting, and the epitome of pure unconditional love. So
I used to have a Rottweiler would probably eat your ass, but other than that, they pretty much are laid back little animals.
You usually sacrifice an animal. I'll usually add a couple on to the one that's coming to plague you.
Right. You sacrificing no animals. And, that's like the lady that we were out somewhere at a club one night, and she's talking about witchcraft and how she sacrificed stuff. And she's talking about how she buyed chihuahuas to sacrifice.
Oh, my God.
So I said, because they were so easy to handle and so easy to deal with. And I'm like, really? I said, well, obviously you're lying, because 2 hours are mean as shit. So I'm like, so tell me more about this. So I started questioning her, because I was getting pissed. And a friend of mine was like, Joe, we need to leave because you're getting pissed, and I know how you are when you get pissed. I'm like, so I started questioning, and I stood up. I said, you're a fucking liar. I said, really? First off, you don't know anything about damn Chihuahua. I said, let's talk about magic for a minute. How do you do this, and this? She's got the backpedaling and choking and spitting. And I'm like, what's the matter? I said,
out there doesn't mean that they're not opening doorways. They shouldn't be.
So I told her.
Go ahead, Joe.
So I told her, I said, well, since you want to play with the devil so much, I'm going to send you a fucking invitation. You excuse my language. And I said, first thing I'm going to do is when I get out of here, I'm going to the swamp and send something to visit you. I said, you need to learn not to play stupid games like this. And a friend of mine who knew her said she was out for the next 3 weeks trying to get a priest to de-exercise her. I said, I didn't put anything bad on her. I said, you put something on her. I said, it was all in her head, man. I said, she just people like that are easy to convince something's going on, even when there's nothing going
reason
on.
why I talk about SRA and adrenochrome and human trafficking and what's happening to little children out there. You have to be completely.
Well, we
dealing
really need to do a show on that, but the problem is more likely it's going to get us. We're going to have to wait until after January 16th because it's going to probably get us thrown off of YouTube again. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't y'all write to YouTube? Oh, actually,
Well, why can't we talk about it before January the 16th?
because we got strikes.
well, because we got two strikes. We just have to do it on the other channel. We can't do it on United Public Radio because we got two strikes, and if we get another one, we're permanently off of YouTube. So somebody's definitely out to get us on YouTube. So we've been being well behaved lately, so they can't really mess with us, and all the archives are going to UFO Paranormal Radio. But it's one of them things, you know, when you got enemies, that's just how it works. Sometimes they just don't like these Canadian girls.
That's my mama house. Be careful what you say at my mama house. You're straight out.
She tossed you to the road. You know, it's funny because all the shows that got hit were none of the new shows, none of mine, which was amazing because I'm always saying something I shouldn't, and I was amazed by that. It was a stupid show in the beginning. I got the very first hit, and then Jeffrey talking about God, ET, and Bigfoot. No hate speech in there, and then Richard Dolan Carrington talking about 9/11. All it proved to me is that YouTube is becoming anti-conspiracy. That's all it proved to me. I mean, because none of that was hate speech; that was conspiracy speech, and there wasn't nobody hating on it in there. Just because. So what YouTube considered hate speech in the 9/11 thing was because they didn't agree with the original assessment of the government. They thought that there was thermite and other things involved in bringing down 9/11. So that's why YouTube put them off for giving up an alternative explanation. The Supreme Court said that's illegal, by the way. And they've also said that what YouTube and others are doing is also illegal. So there's a movement now to break up Google and YouTube and to break up, of course, Facebook and Twitter. They want all four of them going. And they want them to get rid of the subsidiaries like Instagram and TikTok and other shit that they own. Because, everybody's like, oh, TikTok. Well, Facebook owns TikTok. Big deal. People, you don't even know you're talking on Facebook. They done tricked your ass. They couldn't get you to come back to Facebook, so they just invent another app or they buy one.
Group they've targeted too. It's young, usually adolescents and teenagers. Del, don't we have our government is Justin Trudeau is trying to put legislation in to stop anything that supposedly doesn't agree with his narrative? That's been in the news, right?
Yeah, well, they had a thing in the news down here about y'all wanting to limit access to porn, anything that can't be proved, and something else. There was 3 or 4 things on the list. All that'll do is make Canadians move. That's all I do. Canada, Justin, if you listen, I know Mr. Castro, you love our show, so I know you're listening tonight. But listen, don't become a Californian or a New Yorker, you idiot. Look how many people are leaving California to New York. I mean, California is actually on the first time in its history on the negative side of people coming into the state. New York's been negative for about 4 years now. Now Cali is. People are leaving these 2 states by the droves, all because of stupid politicians and stupid rules. People don't have to say you can't keep them in Canada. They can walk across the border how close they are to us.
Well, no, I got to.
We'll let you, and Biden's in, so he'll let you in.
Joe Montaldo, I got to correct you because I'm a native Californian. The only problem is God and those angels that you were talking about and whatnot. They're pissed off at the Californians because, look, we can't do our stuff no more. There's a place called Malibu in California where all the rich people live, and incidentally, every year, either your house is on fire or it is slid into the Pacific Ocean. Now, we can't even define what the name means anymore. And by the way, the name Malibu translated means do not come here. So people who knew that the name meant do not come here decided I'm going to go have my $1 million mansion on top of the hill in Malibu, and it's going to slide into the ocean or it's going to be on fire once a year. Now, everything has been so on fire that you can't do that anymore. There's no space in California to do Californian stuff because California has been singed pretty much to the ground, by the way, along those coasts.
Yeah. I know Cali got to get his shit together. It's going to become the poorest state in the union instead of the richest. Yeah. Because think of what y'all lost just this year. We're not even going to talk about the last 5 years. This year, you lost all all your major space companies are gone now. Elon Musk was the last one to go. He left. He even got on TV and made a big deal about I'm the last one to go.
Look at San Francisco, man. You know, the rents are $4,000 a month for an apartment, but you have this abject poverty and people pooping in the street. So look at the duality of the income gap. You know, $4,000 a month for an apartment? That's crazy.
That's because they've been cleared by Michelle DeRoche. That's why they cost so much. I'm just telling you, that's why they cost so much. She's expensive. Y'all don't believe me, but I'm telling you, the demon just told me. She's expensive, y'all. I'm just saying. Y'all better watch out. You better check and see who is this house cleared from. And if it says Michelle, you better whip out the pocketbook is all I'm telling you.
That's hilarious.
Much of the cost is
penny,
coming from
not
taxes.
even a penny.
I didn't say you would charge. I was saying the people who own the condos charging because you cleared it for them. See, they got smart. They're making money off of you.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, we make some money on this one for clearing out our condo. We can say, oh, yeah, this famous Canadian researcher got this cleared for us. It cost you extra. It was like $25,000 to get it cleared, but it's done now. So, you know, stupid rich people. You know what's funny to me about rich people is literally most of them are stupid. Or I should say they're just
That's stupid. They're rich.
No. You don't have to be brilliant to make money. See, I always thought you had to be smart to make money. I always did. And then I started meeting musicians in Hollywood people and realized, no, you don't have to be smart. You just got to be lucky.
You got a great story with Keanu Reeves.
Lucky?
He just wants me. That's all. Keanu wants me. You know. And if I was a girl, I might give him a little booty, get some money. But, you know, still, I'm not a girl, so it ain't going to happen. That's all I can say. You know, he just wants me.
I could believe that when you told me. I believe you.
He wants. Hey, look, sometimes you run. You know what's weird is when you get into this business, like just for a thing, you know, I'm probably going to, if COVID goes well, I'll probably be in LA in April and May. And I'll probably be attending a few parties. And the thing about it is, these people are retards. So what it is they're dogmatic. They live in this very focused box on whatever it is they do for a living, whether it's acting, science, it doesn't really matter what it is. They just can't seem to get out of the blinder. So when you start talking about shit to them, like I talk about, because I got a wide range of topics to talk about, they get confused. And then sometimes they even get a little aggravated because they're like, because I asked one guy one night, this guy's got 2 PhDs. I said, do you believe in ghosts? He said, I got 2 PhDs. I was like, well, do you believe in? I said, that's not answering the question.
It doesn't exempt you from a belief.
I said, do you believe in ghosts? I said, because I know your mama and your daddy does. I said, so I'm asking you, do you believe in ghosts with your 2 PhDs? And he's like, how many people are listening to this right now? I said, a lot. He said, I got to tell the truth, don't I? I said, you can lie. I said, you know, nobody's going to know. It's just me. I said, I'll know if you're lying. The audience. He goes, he hemmed and hawed around for another 10 minutes of some bullshit he was talking about. And he goes, shit. He said, you know, this isn't scientific, people. Even though my degrees are in science, I got to say I do believe in some kind of spirit activity. He said, being from New Orleans, it's hard not to. He said, you see shit down here that you can't explain with science. And I got to laugh. And so his professor called into the show, the guy who trained him, right, from Tulane University, Ivy League College, all a bunch of Ivy League. Guy calls and he said, oh, I don't know if you can chair the department now if you believe in ghosts. So he's panicking, right? This guy lets him off the hook. He said, no. He said, you know Tulane's haunted, right? And then he kind of relaxed after that, you know. Yeah, because the professor called in and said, in school is haunted. It's all shitting back. And, but I met a lot of the professors through my other company because a lot of them have, the school gives them homes when the professors may come in and teach. So, and we handle the maintenance on a lot of them. So it's an interesting to meet these guys. But when you ask them, met a guy from South Africa. This guy's brilliant. He's teaching advanced physics at Tulane. I asked him in his house. I was working on his toilet, actually, of all things. Do you believe in ghosts? And he backed up like 10 feet. He's made him all nervous and shit. And he said, you know, we don't talk about them things from where I'm from. I said, where are you from? He said, I'm from way down in Africa. He said, Joe, you wouldn't even know the country if I told you the name of the country. He said, we just don't talk about this thing. I said, well, you got PhDs. So the other professor who's staying with him comes out the back. He said, Joe, PhD or not, everybody in Africa believes in ghosts. He said, I'm just telling you now, man. He said, I don't give a fuck what education they got. They believe in ghosts, man. He said, if they tell you they don't, they lying to you, my friend. He said, then he goes off in this stream. You ever met anybody from South America that didn't believe in ghosts? And come to think about it, I have. So he's just wanting me to get it through my head. They didn't care what kind of education you had, they still believed in ghosts. Yeah, no, but they're good guys. And
The whole PhD thing makes me laugh, though, dude. I mean, I and you have met so many people that had PhDs that just don't know anything.
They don't.
And just because they got a piece of paper, it doesn't mean anything. Like you got experience.
Because
and the map is not the territory.
Just because you say you're a doctor doesn't mean you know everything either. So,
well,
or
actually,
else,
in my 57 years of planet living, I found that the nurses generally know more than the doctors do. I hate to say, especially if they're a nurse like in their 40s or 50s.
They work hard.
Oh, man, thank God they do. Because last time I was at EJ, I was in there. The doctor came in and said, we're going to do this, this, and that. And I said, whoa. You're not. Pulled him to the side and told him something. He came in. Oh, no, okay, that's. I don't know what the hell you thought he was doing. I was like, no, you're not. What are you doing, you dumbass? You're trying to kill this dude.
Because we do the living and the breathing and the caring for people, and we deal with it. We're the ones that they just write it down. We're the ones that have to do it all. And I don't mean that arrogantly. That's why I became a nurse, was to work with people and help people. But you're right. You do, and you learn on the job. You might as well toss the books out the window because, I mean, they give you a little bit to work on, but most you learn is on the job. Just like anything else in life.
And the very first thing they say to you is take off your clothes. I love that, man. You know what I mean? You gotta love
don't always say that.
All the ones I do say that.
Just want to see you naked. That's all.
Get them off.
Well,
I'm not taking my pants off.
Giving you privacy, just so you know that, Michael.
Oh, is that? I didn't know you were supposed to close the curtain. I thought they just wanted to see. I didn't know. What the hell? I have very little.
You want me to take my clothes off to take my blood pressure?
Anybody else? But you've seen so much, you don't even notice anymore. It's just like, yeah, whatever.
When I was young, I had modesty. These days, nah, whatever. I don't care. You can see whatever you want. It's not that.
You don't care. It's just like you've seen so many. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, but sometimes you see one, you're like, whoa, where'd that come from?
You've seen so many as women.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that one slide because it was nice. Harold, we're getting ready to get out of here. We got about 7-8 minutes. No, actually, the Delicious Dell's up next.
The Delicious Dell. I let him out of his cage to do his show. There you go.
All right. So he could do a show. What do you mean? My favorite demon. What do you? Oh, if I had a favorite demon, what demon would it be? That's a good question, actually. I'm not sure. If I had to pick one, who's the most powerful? I guess that would be argumentative. Let me see. Somebody just sent me this link. Who they say most powerful here? Worst demons to get possessed by. Who's this? Okay, Aquiel. Aquel? How you say that? Nope. This demon who is what? Is a demon in Christian mythology. Yeah, I know that much already. They're possessed by the wrong
I would think Golgothan is the thing you want to stay away from the most. But the other ones you can sit down and have a drink with. The Golgothan.
If you're looking for power, money, and fame, that's what I was offered and said it's not radio friendly. What I said, he rhymes with bomb and begins with an R. And spelt it for me, too.
Yeah, this one's Surrogate, Surgat. Argus. And then, it's the one we talked about earlier, the Ronavi, whatever it is. And then Beelzebub. Could we top this list? Big and bad.
Basil? Is that Beelzebub? The herb version? Well, what about Lucifer? Or...
Of course, you know what Sanders.
Oh, wait. So wait. They got a best list to get possessed by? Wait a minute. What is this list? The best demons to get possessed by. Azel. Who's Azel? Look, we can pretend we're not a Star Trek. Azel is a concept that goes way back.
Who makes these lists?
I don't know.
We start talking about Boxing Day again.
So, number 4 is Ben Tamerlane, who appears as a Jewish mythology, possesses princesses, rabbis, and varyokas. Okay, this guy sounds like he's fun. I'm going to go hang out with this.
He possesses the rabbit?
Let's see. Andreas. Shut up. Kill people now. I'm going to. This one just likes to have a lot of sex. Okay. This almost looks like Amadeus, but I'm saying it wrong, I'm sure.
Asmodeus.
Thank you. A jealous demon when they became one woman.
So my professional advice
Another
for people
horny
out there is to
Stop.
get rid of demons. Don't even go there, and embrace love, because love is the most powerful energy in the universe, man. And you can find out more about that tomorrow on my show, Discovery Paranormal, at 8 p.m. on UPRN, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be talking about quantum entanglement and how basically this makes the world around us. We create our own world. I'm going to teach you how to do all kinds of stuff within that creation, man.
Cool.
So, ha.
That
I
list
like
says
that.
if you get possessed by them demons, you won't want to get unpossessed.
Stop.
That's what Beelzebub said about Michelle, but then all of a sudden he got unpossessed. So
Yeah.
You don't want
Not
to
in a
possess
good
me.
way
My life
either.
is boring.
man, Wayne, if
The
you listen,
demons would be so bored.
We just found this information out tonight, so be careful.
I'm
Wayne.
in
You
quarantine. I'm
just
stuck in a room.
Dipped across it.
My
Call
life
me.
is
Take you when
boring.
across it, dipped in some holy water. See, that ain't even gonna work. You get a giggle. That ain't gonna work either. Y'all in trouble, people. We thank God I'm in the South where it's safe.
Never safe. I have
Yeah,
a
so
long
fast.
reach.
Y'all Canadians are in trouble up there. Oh, speaking of that, Johnny Wrench, love that name, writes into me earlier about. He said, "Well, I know you got Canadian hosts. It's snowing in Canada."
So
I said, according to the weather, it's snowing everywhere.
it's okay if it's snowing.
Yeah, I guess. Why you want to know if it's snowing in Canada? You can. You know what? There's a thing called the Weather Channel. And you can look
It
on
was just snowing lately here. We haven't had
Not
They
yet.
don't know anything on the
Canada's-
Weather
It's
Channel.
nice
Canada's
here.
pretty big. So Canada's pretty big.
You
So
know what?
it's
We were
snow
about to
on
get a
one side
blizzard, and the guy on the Weather Channel talked about Washington, D.C. getting a half an inch of snow for like 38 minutes. He didn't even think about, like, we're getting 4 feet of snow up here. 4 feet, dude. The guy's like, well, Washington, D.C. Oh, ha, ha, ha. I'm like, I don't care about that. I want to hear about my snow. Tell me about the roads, man. Tell me about some stuff. The Weather Channel, ever since then, they got bought by Byron Allen. He's a comedian. He's a horrible comedian, but a great businessman. Bought the Weather Channel. Now they're like, you see that show Fat Guy in the Woods? I take offense to that, man. You know, it's like you can like make fun of fat people and like the fat guy in the woods and whatever. And what is that doing on the Weather Channel? You know what I'm saying? Like Fat Guy reads
Now
the
you're
weather. I want to see
talking about
that.
it. So there you go. He must know what he's doing. Like he said, a brilliant businessman.
It's derogatory. It's derogatory. You know what I mean? Like, but whatever. So Weather Channel, no. AccuWeather, yeah.
Was
We
that
should tell you
Dan?
what the freaking weather's going to be.
Ronnie, no, Russia's the largest country in the world. Canada's huge, but Russia's like twice the size of Canada. Canada's not actually that much bigger than the United States, but only because of the continent, only because they gave us Alaska.
A lot of it's unusable. Like,
well, a lot
unusable.
that's what's wrong with China. You know, it's funny when you look at these maps. Russia's 17 billion acres. Canada's 9.9. America's 9.8. China's 9.5. But the difference is, China's 9.5, but the 3 countries above it still have less population than China has living on this less landmass than everybody else does.
Exactly. Look at Australia. They only have a few cities, and the rest of it's just desolation, man. Like
Australia
outback,
is the 6th
giant
biggest
spiders,
country in the world land-wise.
dinosaurs, alligators. You know what I mean?
Fact,
Like,
They make
Mo-
great cooked Tim Tams.
where's China?
I love
I think-
Tim Tam.
So do I.
You can a ghost get rid of it.
I buy it once in a while, man. I look at the calories and fat on there, and I'm like, ugh, no.
You're gonna
Anyway,
buy
but once
those
in a
kind of
while,
things. You
dude.
never look at that.
Anyway, we got to get out of here.
Once in a while.
Michelle start first since Lori started first earlier. Michelle, say hi to everybody. Tell them where they can find you, what you're up to.
Hi.
Don't watch. She ain't y'all innocent. Watch out, y'all. She got y'all kind.
You can find me on the Outer Realm this coming Wednesday evening, 8 to 10 Central, 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. This Wednesday evening, I'm going to have Rosemary Ringer. She will talk about having a near-death experience and how she was told if she came back that everything, her illness, because she had cancer, that would be completely gone. And she did come back, and she talks about her experience with angels, and she talks about how she came back cancer-free, and doctors have no idea how. So it's going to be, as I say, lighthearted for the Christmas season.
Love it.
Awesome.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
You
Oh,
want
that's
me to
right.
go
It's
next?
Thursday. It's Christmas Eve. Huh? I forgot.
I know.
Oh, by the way, guys, I'll be on
Archives.
Christmas Eve. Go ahead, Laura. You next.
I will be on right after the delicious recipe at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time with the Angel Rock. And I have a really cool guest tonight, Michael Roser, who is, he does the paranormal, Black Book investigations, he does UFOs. We're going to be talking about spirituality, probably angels, all kinds of things. Please tune in because we'll be in the chat. You guys can ask him questions. He's really an interesting guy. You guys are going to you're going to love him. I'm probably going to have him on in the new year again. And then tomorrow night, as I understand it, the Tripping the Void with my PIC or partner in crime and bestie, Seraphine Hurley. We will be back 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. And thank you for having me here. Love all you guys. And Merry Christmas to everybody, or Happy
Merry
Holidays, whatever you
Christmas,
celebrate.
yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're still looking for some hosts, by the way. Dale, you next, baby.
Hey, it's the Dell with a delicious recipe. Going to be on right after following this one here, and I got a special guest on there tonight. My twin, Gemini twin, Dell. So stay tuned for that.
That sounds like schizoid, flitzoid. So this sounds.
Were you Delsky and you're going to have Dell?
Ben, where you at? You next, Ben. Go ahead, baby.
Oh, I'm right here. It's Benito Childs from the You Heard It Here First radio and media broadcast team. I think we're on Mondays at 2.
Yeah, right now you are, but y'all will probably get moved. But yeah, that's where you are right now.
Okay, so everybody listen out for a schedule change. But anyway, what we do is interview celebrity level and award-winning level musicians and entertainers, and we put them with people who have really good material that don't have a Grammy or an award. Ooh. And we talk about the material, we break new stuff, we introduce the whole world to new artists and new music, and that helps us create groundwork for our app company called Music's Boulevard. That's for independent musicians around the world in 166 countries, just like this network. That said, tune in and hang out with us and listen to some new music and get words of wisdom from salty old veterans in rock and roll, jazz, hip hop, country, and other genres.
And he got a good looking co-host, Will. Man, y'all gotta be nice to that guy. We're gonna put Will on the calendar this year.
You know.
We talk to him if they tell him.
The swimsuit issue.
That's right. Tell him we're gonna put him on and put him on some Speedos and put him on the calendar. We're gonna run out of that. We're gonna be like, I'm out of here if I'm running. Michael, go ahead, man.
All right, man. So I have renamed my show. This is the first time anyone's hearing about it. On Thursday, Michael Angley Live is now the Red Pill News. So people are going to take the red pill, and then we're going to burn through the whole facade of the illusion that's going on. And, of course, Discovery Paranormal every Tuesday, 8 p.m. on UPRN, 8 p.m. Eastern. And tomorrow, I'll reiterate, we'll talk about quantum entanglement and what it means to you and basically how you can fix your effed up life through quantum entanglement and understanding how things work. So it should be pretty interesting.
Love the new name, Michael. That's awesome.
And don't bend over in front of Santa Claus. That's my free advice for the night. Do not bend over in front of Santa Claus, especially if his elves are present. Just warning y'all. Y'all can find me on Mondays, Wednesdays,
we all kind of
Fridays,
say that anyway.
And Saturdays. Yeah, you can't bend over in front of Santa Claus. It's just one of them things, people. I don't know what it is. Might be a toy issue. I'm not sure. But anyway, you can catch me on Mondays with the crowd here. You can catch, matter of fact, most of us here on Mondays, cutting up and hanging out. Next week, we will be talking about politics. We will be discussing the new upcoming Congress, the new upcoming presidency, along with the new stimulus package that was just passed the other day. I'm sure this package is going to piss a lot of people off. So we will be talking about that. And, of course, the following week, we will be back on – no, we're on Mondays. This show is going to be airing regardless. Now, Thursdays and Fridays, for the most part, will be off for the next 2 weeks. Yeah, for the most part, yeah. I'm on Monday from 5 to 7 with John Goodman. That's the New Year's Day I'm on Thursday with Van Hunt. Thursday evening, I have to get the time from y'all. I got 4 or 5 other gigs I'm doing during the holidays. I'm doing a lot of guesting. I'm not doing a lot of hosting for the holidays. I'm doing a lot of guesting, which is not that unusual for me in the holidays. I actually, it wouldn't be for COVID, I'd be on the road right now. I had several things we were going to be filming in December, so it bites. Not that it's in, no, Jessica, it's not so much to get my mug on TV. They pay me good. Plus, they take me and hook me up. And they fly you either in business or first class. They hook you up, give you your own personal assistant and shit. I get used to that kind of shit. I get spoiled, man. I'm easy, though. I gotta tell women all the time, don't even call me unless you plan on spoiling me.
You got addicted to the food that comes from the honey wagon, didn't you?
No. I don't like eating out in LA, mind you. I like to eat down here, but I gotta say, food and air in LA is lacking at best. But everything else out there is pretty cool. And half
That's because you can catch it quicker where you are.
Yeah, and when you're out there, I gotta warn y'all about East LA. Nobody speaks English out there. No, indeed, not people. Me and my wife got off the interstate one time in LA. We were going to go down because they had the award ceremony going on, right? And I didn't want to get all the traffic, so I was going to go around. I seen the Mickey D's. I said, I'll run and ask for directions and get a quick hamburger. Nope, nobody in the place spoke English. Nobody.
Wow.
I was like, I said, did I take a wrong turn in my damn? Because, Tijuana is not real far from San Diego. So I'm thinking maybe I took a wrong turn or some shit. No, I said, well, I don't remember crossing the border. What the hell?
You were in East Los Angeles. You were not in LA. That's where you got it mixed up at. You were lost. You were in East Los Angeles.
Yeah, I was. I was in East Los Angeles. Yeah, evil East off. I don't know. I was like, And then it was funny because they were laughing because I was speaking English. They're like, well, he's a dumbass. We don't speak English here. I'm thinking, you bitches, you're in America. Speak English. That should be a rule. You come to this country, you need to speak English. You know what? Everybody get a little translator now, universal translator, just like in Star Trek. No reason to be ignorant no more. But anyway, guys, y'all can catch me here on Mondays, Wednesdays on UFO Undercover, Fridays with Science and Beyond, which comes back starting January 8th. It may be getting reduced an hour. I'll talk about that in a couple of weeks. Also, Michelle DeRoche, we're on 2-week break, three-week break. And then the Gray Zone will be back. It's doing well, so y'all should be checking it out. Remember, guys, the only time you can catch the Gray Zone is when we're live on Saturdays. And then after that, it's simply pay for listen on YouTube or Podbean.
And that will be every Saturday in
January we're on every Saturday. Yeah, we usually buy.
Joe's trying to kill me with research every Saturday.
We're running an experiment. It's up to. I'm gonna tell your audience something right now. If you want that show to stay monthly, then you're gonna have to really kick in on the membership thing, and make it worth Michelle's and I's time to be doing it every week, and we'll do it every week for you. But right now, January is scheduled, but after that, we go back to bi-weekly. So just keep it in mind. I know. I got some letters lately from some researcher friends of mine and other paranormal groups. As a matter of fact, a couple of them are looking for shows, and they're like, "Man, listening to y'all is like cheating." I'm like, what do you mean? Wow, I've been doing all this research. I'm just gonna start listening to y'all too. She says, shit, I don't even have to read it anymore. She said, y'all were talking about, I think we were talking about mythological creatures. She said, shit, y'all mentioned all the ones I was interested in. I didn't even have to go look. I was like, well, that's good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. She became a member, by the way. She wanted to go listen to the rest of them. She said she's using my term, research by proxy. But anyway, we got to go. I want to thank all the hosts for coming in, all the listeners tonight. I know we're well up in the 900,000 range. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in on the show tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Any moans, groans, bitches, and complaints, and half to Michelle and half to Laura Lee.
No, you can send them all to Laura Lee. I'm good.
And Michelle says she wants.
Thanks, Michelle.
No problem.
Y'all don't want any of them.
It's that glad tidings thing.
Thank you.
And if you send it to me, it better have a check in it. Is all I got to say. I'm just telling you now, man. It better be a donation on PayPal or a check or something, because I'm going to ignore it otherwise. On that note, we got to go. Coming up next, the Delicious Dell in about 5 minutes. So everyone, please stay tuned.
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Michelle. I appreciate people.
Thanks a lot, Joe.